What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. I am your host, Andrew, and with me today is my co-host, Nint Ice.
Aloha!
Or Nint Ice 2000, right? You're the 2000 variant of Nint Ice. Today is February 6th, 2020. I don't even remember when our last episode was. It was definitely before Byleth came out. And it's just been difficult to try to get people. Everybody's just been busy, so it looks like it's just us today. So what have you been up to since we last recorded?
Nothing really, just playing games, talking to friends, doing online college work.
What online college?
Full Sail.
Oh, sweet. That was one of the colleges I looked at before I went to School of Visual Arts, but I didn't even know they had it online. But anyway, you mentioned a cartoon when I was talking that you got into.
Yeah, and it was thanks to a friend who, if you're listening to this episode, hi, this is attributed to you. Yeah, I posted a huge thread about it a week or so ago, talking about why I love a certain character from it, but yeah, on Discord, he showed me a clip of it, and I suddenly got a sudden urge to watch it and learn more about the character that was in the clip, so I did it, and now it is one of my favorite shows of all time.
What's the show?
The Netflix reboot of She-Ra.
Oh, I do remember you posting something about that on Twitter. How is that? What is She-Ra? Anyway.
You've heard of He-Man, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a female spin-off of that.
Oh, is He-Man in it at all?
No, they're in different universes from what I can understand. I wasn't a fan of the original prior to watching this, so...
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
For good reason, too, because basically Netflix She-Ra is the equivalent to My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, in which the original was basically overly feminine and that only girls could enjoy it. So the new one is much more, I guess, accessible for people of all genders, which is something that even the reviewers took note of.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this is a reboot of a spin-off. When was the original She-Ra?
1985, I think, according to my research.
How old is He-Man?
I have no idea. Probably older than that.
I don't know. All I know is I have the power.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of expecting them to reference that when watching this show, but in fact, I think they kind of did actually in the first season, if I remember correctly.
Do you hate Smash Ultimate?
Yes.
That's funny.
Oh.
Because Apocalypso just messaged me, and he's like, "Oh, I can't record tonight," and I was like, "It's all right because we already started recording." Because I think he said earlier he couldn't, and then he got back to me and said, "Oh, just we're running late." Like, "Oh, but we're already recording." Me and Nintice, and he's like, "Oh, Nintice hates Smash Ultimate. I should be on soon." That's so funny.
Are you kidding me, Dan?
That's really funny.
Well, at least you don't demonize me for it, unlike everyone else.
I don't care. Everybody's entitled to what they like and don't like. So,
Actually,
that brings an interesting twist to it, because I would love to know what you would prefer differently with Smash, what you don't like about it. That actually brings a really interesting perspective into the discussion.
I don't know. You sure?
we don't have to, but I did want to discuss the Byleth reveal, so. But
I mean, lucky for you, today I happened to finally get it over with and try out the last two characters, so that's perfectly fine.
Well, we typically talk about Smash a lot, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, are there any other shows that have gotten rebooted aside from She-Ra? I mean, in recent times, I know, like, I think My Little Pony was a reboot of an older series or something, right?
Friendship is Magic? No, it was just another generation. And I know that reboots lately... I know that reboots lately have not had the best track record, but come on, not all reboots are bad. Just look at the new DuckTales, for example, and the new She-Ra is awesome. No, seriously, I can't gush about this.
How many episodes are there?
You're not gonna believe this. It's less than 2 years old, but later this year it's gonna have its 5th season.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, Netflix has really been cranking out these episodes. Like, what the heck? and season 5 is sadly also going to be the last one. So I kind of got into the show at the end game, but oh well.
I just saw an advertisement for the 3rd season of Castlevania. I still haven't seen the first 2, but I should probably watch it. Have you seen it?
I'm not a fan of Castlevania. Plus, I heard it's like really bloody and gory and violent. Ugh.
Nice. So wait, okay. So what kind of things do you like? What kind of games do you like?
Well, I tend to like the underrated, so there's that.
What do you dislike? The overrated?
That's not how I would put it.
Well, okay. Do you like Kingdom Hearts?
I love Kingdom Hearts.
Did you play the DLC?
I don't have a PlayStation, nor do I want one. I sadly have only played the Kingdom Hearts games that were on Nintendo consoles, except for 358 Days Over 2.
Oh no!
But I've seen the cutscenes for 1 and 2, and I spoiled I probably told you this already in another episode, but I spoiled myself of one world in KH3 because I was simply too excited to wait for that one.
Which one?
The Big Hero 6 one.
Do you play the mobile game?
Union Cross, I used to, but I lost my data, so I kind of gave up on it.
See, I used to be real big into it, and now I kind of just continue playing the story because I want to see what happens. I kind of fell out of it when they introduced... I don't remember initially how high the star ratings were for medals. I think they initially went up to 6. But then they introduced this system of evolving medals up to 7. And I am still confused over which medals are good and not good anymore. And as of right now, I used to get... since every quest had 3 missions that, optional to get items, I used to try and get them all. And in the recent missions, I can barely get them. I don't know the increase in difficulty. Since I haven't really played in a long time, I don't know how to get my characters up to par. So I just try to play the story now, really, because I want to see what happens. And they've been introducing or fooling around with this character named Darkness.
His name is Darkness?
Well, he says you can call me Darkness, but we don't know his true identity. He wears the cloak just like everyone. And I think there's theories going around, and there's some new story that was just introduced. I think it was Gamers Joint or HMK was discussing it.
Cynical!
What?
I watched some of Gamers Joint's rages. They're so freaking funny. He says the most random crap I've ever heard.
I would love to get him on the show, but he didn't respond when I reached out to him. So, but he probably didn't see the message, because I know a lot of people. Yeah. When the bigger their fan base, the harder it is for them to respond. But well, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the mobile game, yeah. They've been introducing this idea of the new foretellers, and there's a traitor among them. And I had to stop watching the video because I didn't want to spoil the new story content for myself. So I'm looking forward to seeing the new story content in Union Cross that they just introduced. But other than that, I haven't really cared for the game itself since they made it confusingly difficult. And there's probably an easy fix to that. I mean, I'm probably doing something wrong because I kind of been out of it for maybe a year or a year and a half. But if I knew, that'd be cool. But so you watched all the cutscenes from all the games that you didn't play aside from 3?
Yes.
So you're all caught up.
Yeah.
Aside from 3. So you saw 1, you played Chain of Memories. You saw 2,
Yeah.
You saw Birth by Sleep.
Yep.
And
I'm kind of sad that that's the only game that featured Lilo and Stitch, and it wasn't even Hawaii. It was in space.
Well, Stitch was a summon at least later on.
But Stitch is so popular. How doesn't he have his own world aside from the space one?
Well, unless the spaceship is still floating around in space, there should be a Hawaii level. But it wouldn't make too much sense because a lot of time had passed since the time of Terra, Aqua, and Ventus. So it would be weird. Because during Birth by Sleep, you had a younger Zack in the Olympus Coliseum, like Zack from Final Fantasy VII. It was Zack. I think so, right? Or there was a young Hercules. I know.
Yeah, it was a young Hercules.
So by the time we get to Kingdom Hearts 1, Hercules is older. So there is a time gap. So I think there's an older... there's a Lilo and Stitch movie where Lilo is older. So if they wanted to, they could jump into that time skip, but it would be weird having not even shown the original. So
yeah, I mean, Lilo doesn't get a lot of respect, sadly, enough as it is.
Yeah. So I don't know what they plan
I
to
mean,
do
heck, even Angel freaking has more merch than Lilo does, and she's a character in the title, and she's a secondary main character, and Angel gets more merch all because...
Is she the pink one?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I liked their designs together, the blue and pink.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying. You played... Let's see. So you watched Birth by Sleep. You watched 358 Days Over 2?
Yeah. And
you watched... or you played Coded, right? Or Recoded?
Yeah, I love Recoded.
Yeah, I like it.
Unpopular opinion, I know, but...
And you watched... No, you played Dream Drop Distance, right? Because that's a Nintendo game.
I freaking love Dream Drop
Me too.
Distance.
And then you played...
And in fact, I played it multiple times, actually. I played it... I think I beat the story 2 or 3 times. The last time I beat it was in 2018 or 17.
And you watched 2.9 and you watched Back Cover?
No, I have no idea what those are.
Oh, okay. So basically, before Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, there was a like...
Oh wait, was it one that it showed Aqua in the Dark Realm?
Yeah, that's 2.9.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And it also came with the movie for Kingdom Hearts Key Back Cover, which is like during the events of Union Cross, it focused on the foretellers and the Master Masters. So you can probably watch that on YouTube or something. So what I would suggest for you, if you wanted to watch some Kingdom Hearts stuff before playing or watching Kingdom Hearts 3, to watch Back Cover and to watch... there's somebody took the story of Union Cross and put it from beginning to like the latest updates, and it even explained some stuff that I didn't even realize. So, but basically, do you remember a mobile game a desktop game in Japan called Kingdom Hearts? It was just Kingdom Hearts Key, and basically, what?
Nope, I've never heard of that.
Okay, so
Well, I've heard of it, but I didn't know it was a different game.
No. It wasn't a different game. Basically, before Union Cross, it had a different title. It was called Unchained Key.
Ah, okay.
And it was basically a mobile port enhancement. They changed the cards to medals, and and I didn't realize this because I was a little confused on this. But in the video that I was watching, they explained this, and I was like, "Oh my god, that makes sense." But basically, the Keyblade War that happens at the end of Key, and then the game ends. The story ends in Unchained Key. When it gets up to that point, it skips the Keyblade War. And I was always curious as to why the Keyblade War didn't happen. And then I found out that basically Unchained Key is somewhat of a retelling. So basically, Key happens up to the Keyblade War, and basically something happens without really spoiling too much. Some of the characters, they take the worlds from Key, and they make data versions of them, and they bring all the, I guess, survivors of the Keyblade War into that data world. And in it, it's exactly the same, but they pretend that, the war never happened. So they kind of just try and... It's basically a data version of reality, but the Keyblade War never happened, so it's like continuing. So basically, Unchained Key is Key. It's like basically you're playing through what everybody remembers. And in the game, your character has memories of the Keyblade War, in like dreams about it, and he or she, if you're using the female player, and they don't know why, and they had these nightmares of having fought in the Keyblade War. And then it makes sense. You realize, that's because everybody's memories were erased. And the foretellers, the new foretellers, because the old ones got caught up in the war and disappeared. So the new ones were picked by, I think, Abba, and they are in charge of this, the worlds afterwards, the data world now. And basically, we find out that Union Cross is like the renamed sequel, but it's still the same game. It's a continuation, and basically the idea is instead of having separate factions, we want everyone to be united, so that's why they call it Union Cross. And the story going forward is what's their names? Oh yeah, the new foretellers. They find out that one of them is not supposed to be there. One of the 5 who were picked to be one of the new foretellers, was killed, and they, for some reason, their book of prophecy, their copy of the book or whatever would make you a foreteller, came into the hands of somebody else. So somebody's not supposed to be there, and they're playing around with like who could it be? Out of the 5. So the 5 are. See if I remember their names. Ephemer. I don't know if you know any of these characters, but basically Ephemer...
No, I actually have no idea what you're talking about.
So Ephemer and Skuld. There's Loriam, who is the somebody of Marluxia. So basically Marluxia, before he was a nobody.
So wait, what's his real name?
Loriam.
Loriam.
So Laurim.
I really like how the nobodies are named.
Yeah. And he's actually friends with the somebody of Larxene. So you kind of see how... Yeah, Alrena. So basically, Loriam, his sister, her name was Strelitzia, and she was supposed to be one of the foretellers, and she was killed by somebody. And he's trying to find out where his sister is. And Arlene, I always thought her name would be Arlene, so I sometimes accidentally say Arlene. But Alrena, I think she was friends with Strelitzia, so that's how they kind of started hanging around, because he's trying to find out what happened to his sister. and I think she was in the same faction or something as her, or knew of her. So they started hanging around together, looking for his sister. And there's another guy with a hat and like long hair in the front. His name is Brain. I don't know why his name is Brain, but his name is Brain. Yeah. And the fifth...
It's not as bad as a character in Pokemon Sword and Shield named Mustard.
Wait, who is Mustard? That sounds familiar.
It's a new character in the upcoming DLC for it.
Oh, okay.
Mustard.
But anyway, and the fifth of the new foretellers is Ventus.
Ah.
And that's what makes it really like, wait a second, because this is hundreds of years maybe before the events of Birth by Sleep. So how is Ventus there, you know? I think he looks a little bit younger, but not too much younger. And I'm wondering if something's going to happen where he's going to get thrown into the future, or maybe he time traveled to the past, or maybe he gets frozen in time. Like, I have no idea how he's going to get into... Basically, he gets into... As the earliest... Aside from Birth by Sleep... aside from Union Cross, the earliest point in time we know of Ventus is he's basically in Xehanort's clutches, and then Xehanort, I think, tries to train him, and then just decides to take the darkness out of him, and that's where Vanitas comes from. So,
yeah,
I guess we'll find out what happened before that. And at the same time, they announced a new mobile game called Dark Road, which is going to be all about Xehanort's past, which is, one, exciting, but two, I'm one of those people who wants to own physical copies of certain things, especially of my favorite series. And so I want to have a physical copy of Union Cross and now Dark Road, and I feel like that's never going to happen unless they somehow do what they did with 358 Days Over 2. They made into movie / cutscenes, and the same with... I think they did that with... did they do that with Coded? In one of
I think to my memory, Recoded and Recoded was a mobile game, and then the DS one, Recoded, is like a remake of it.
Yeah. So, but I think they took the cutscenes and they made cutscenes and movies and reading thing out of it for Final Mix or 2.5 collection, I think. And then the third one they did was a new one called Back Cover, and that was basically the events of Key, but like from the perspective of foretellers, how they were trying to find out who the traitor was, blah blah blah. So I would suggest for you, if you wanted to see like what happens next, read or watch what happened through Key, like the story on YouTube, because somebody compiled all the cutscenes together up to one of the latest revelations, and then it even explains stuff to me. Plus, I would say watch Back Cover.
All right.
And you saw 2.9, right, with Aqua.
Yeah, with Aqua in the dark realm. Yeah, I remember.
So I think all you need to know is Key and Back Cover.
All right.
Until Dark Road comes out, I don't know what that's going to be. I don't even know what kind of game it's going to be. Like, I have no idea what to expect, but I hope it's fun.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not money hungry, as some mobile games can be.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, Mario Kart 4.
Have you been playing or played at all Pokemon Masters?
No, I don't feed into the Game Freak mobile game industry.
But I don't think Game Freak is in charge of it.
It's not?
No, it's Dena, I think. DENA.
Oh. Just
like how Game Freak doesn't do Pokemon Go, it's Niantic.
Oh.
Hold on, I have it on my phone right here. I could confirm for you. But I'm pretty sure it's Dena. Whoever Dena is. So you don't play Pokemon Go?
I couldn't get into
Dena,
Pokemon.
Yeah.
Every time I tried it, the game would just glitch out, and I honestly found Pokemon Go to be a really useless game.
I just like collecting the Pokemon. So I actually finally got Mime Junior today. I traded with someone because currently it's only in 5-kilometer eggs in Europe because Mr. Mime is a Europe exclusive region.
Gosh.
So somebody had it and traded with me, so I'm excited. So now I have all of Gen 1 out of what's available. I have all Gen 1, 2, 3, and 4, except for Gabite and Garchomp. I'm still trying to evolve Gabite or Gabite. So, and I caught Tornadus today, and he's in
Cool.
raids.
Cool.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Sword and Shield? Because I don't know if we really spoke about that last time.
Yeah, you and Alpha talked about Sword and Shield, remember?
Yeah, but I don't quite remember. I don't think there's been anything new since then. They did reveal that there's going to be a new mythical Pokemon revealed in February.
Actually, about Sword and Shield, I actually may try it out in the end because I had a friend that he gave me enough money to buy the DLC, so because he really insisted that I tried and played it for myself before giving a verdict about it. So I didn't even ask. He just gave me an eShop card and gave me $30 so I could buy it. So I did, and
That's a very nice friend.
Yeah, and now I'm forced to play it Sword and Shield.
You're forced.
No. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm grateful. I'm happy he did that. It was really awesome. But now, whether I like it or not, I gotta play Shield. So, yeah.
Well, so you.
I mean, I did.
Shield,
I was a little bit sad with having to skip a new generation. So, I guess I got.
Wait, which one did you skip?
8.
Oh, so you would have skipped this if you don't play it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you'll get the DLC?
I already have it purchased. I just have to buy the game.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna play Shield.
Yeah.
Can you give me Zamazenta? Or was it Zacian? I forget which one is which. I need the Shield one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that the DLC is good. And I'm really curious what the new mythical is going to be because I'm assuming it's going to be the quote-unquote Mew of the generation.
Oh gosh.
You know how every generation has a Mew / like a legendary mythical pixie type Pokemon?
It does?
Yeah.
Wait. Who was... No, Gen 5 didn't have fairy mythicals. Was...
Yeah. We had Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Manaphy, Victini.
That's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah. 6 was oh god.
Magirna? No, or was that Sun and
No.
Moon?
Wait, I'm skipping one in my head because Marshadow is Gen 7. So
is it
6
Magirna?
was no, it wasn't Magirna. It was oh god, I forget. Hoopa. Hoopa. They all have that like round head, tiny body. Mew is the only one that looks a little different from them, but is generally the same.
Interesting observation. I never thought of that.
No, I think people called them the fairy legendaries before the fairy type came out. So I think people now refer to them as pixies, the legendary pixies. So I just always like seeing one from each gen. I'm like, oh yeah, that one's adorable, that one's cool. So I'm hoping they keep up that trend, and there's one for Gen 8.
Yeah.
So we had Mew is Psychic. So most of them are Psychic. It was Psychic Grass, Psychic Steel. Then Manaphy broke it as just Water. Then Victini was Psychic Fire?
Yes. I actually think it was Fire Psychic.
Okay. Well, I don't know the order. I don't know which was primary.
Does it matter which order? Does it
I
matter?
don't know, but I know the combination. I just don't know which came first. So Fire Psychic / Psychic Fire. Hoopa was Psychic Ghost.
Yeah.
And then Marshadow was Fighting Ghost. So he wasn't Psychic either. And so now we gotta see what Gen 8 will give us. I also really like the Eevee evolution, so I'm surprised we're not getting any more. I thought for sure we were gonna get one this gen.
I'm enjoying Sylveon still being the newest Eevee.
I love them all. I like Sylveon too. But I'm just like, where's the new ones? There was a cool like fake leak a while back about there being a Galarian Eevee that would evolve into 2 or 3 different elemental types, and that would be the method for getting the next evolutions that was from a Galarian Eevee. I thought that was kind of cool, but at the same time was like I would prefer them all coming from one Eevee that it can branch out. But then it just didn't even happen at all. There were no new EVs, so. So, anything else you've been playing?
Well, I revisited Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the sake of entertainment.
Yeah. How is that? Because I played it on Wii U. I never really played it on the Switch.
Okay, I know I said that I sometimes like Team Sonic Racing more, but as glitchy and rage-inducing as online is, it can also be really freaking hilarious.
Like, I have Team Sonic Racing, but I've been playing some other stuff first, so I haven't played it.
Like, there was a time, I think it was in Swamp Ruins, where everyone was fighting to get on the red shortcut, and it was just chaos. And then there were times that you throw a shell, but then it misses them, but for some reason the stupid hitbox somehow gets them. And what's even more annoying is, because this shows just how glitchy the online is. You hit people with a shell and they don't slow down. It's so annoying.
I would like to get it for the Switch to play it again, but I think I would. I'm not so inclined to get it unless they like reveal new DLC for it. Then I'd be like, all right, now I have to get it. But I don't. I think they're done with it, and they're just kind of raking in the dough now because it's apparently still selling.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mario Kart, what do you expect?
Yeah, so I would get it, but I'm not in a rush to get it, because there's so many other games. I just recently beat Blasphemous. That was a lot of fun.
I'm just happy they brought back King Boo.
What?
I'm just happy they brought back King Boo.
What do you mean?
Like, he wasn't in the original Mario Kart 8, they brought him back for Deluxe.
Wait, he's playable?
Yeah.
Wait, so what new content do they have in the Switch version?
It includes all the DLC from 8, plus new characters, and a new and improved battle mode.
Well, who are the new characters?
They had returning fan favorites, King Boo, Bowser Jr., Dry Bones, and I think that's it for the fan favorite.
Dry Bones? I thought he was already in 8.
No, he wasn't in 8.
I could have sworn I remembered using him.
No, he wasn't in 8.
Was Dry Bowser?
I think he was
Maybe
DLC in 8, so yeah, it was Dry Bowser.
Okay. So they added 3 new characters.
And no, well, those are returning veterans. The new characters are the Inklings from Splatoon.
How many? 2 of them?
Yeah, the girl and the boy.
Oh.
And there is one more, but it's completely useless and stupid. Gold Mario.
What does he do?
It's nothing. It's just another reskin of Metal Mario, and you get him by beating every single 200cc course, which I have done. It's such a crazy mode.
Oh my god! I remember playing 200cc and like being terrible.
I've actually mastered 200cc because I learned when to brake and when to speed up. It's such a carnage-inducing mode.
So there's another way to get him? Is he any good?
No, I don't bother using Gold Mario. It's stupid.
Wait, does he have the same stats as Metal Mario?
I think he does.
Well, that's pointless, if that's the case. It's just
Yeah, Mario Kart 8 kind of has a very dumb and clouded roster, I must say.
Yeah.
It's even worse than Smash's.
I think Smash roster is awesome.
Well, I mean in terms of the clones.
Oh, okay.
Like you have like 5 Marios and 5 Peaches, like, ugh.
Yeah, that is pretty dumb.
Yeah.
So, wait, there's Mario, Metal Mario, and Gold Metal Mario.
And Baby Mario and Tanuki Mario. Oh.
Really?
Yes.
That's stupid.
It is stupid, I know.
It's just like Mario just puts cat ears on. He's like, I'm a new racer.
Actually, Tanuki Mario even has his own personality, I've noticed.
What other Peaches are there?
Cat Peach. Pink Gold Peach. Baby Peach and regular Peach.
Does anybody else have clones?
Rosalina does, Luigi does.
They're just baby versions, right?
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Bowser Jr. wasn't in the Wii version. The Wii U version, I mean.
Yeah, I was surprised that he was missing too, yet all the Koopalings were in.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool that we can see him and all the Koopalings in one game.
Yeah, finally.
Morton is really popular online. I have no idea why.
Who is?
Morton.
Huh. Maybe he's good. I don't know.
He's just another heavyweight, though.
Wait, Morton, is he like the gray one with the star on his eye?
Yeah.
Star spot?
I poke fun at how he talks and the sounds he makes.
What does he sound like?
Like when he boosts, he goes like.
Is he Fat Albert? Fat
Yeah.
Hey, Mario.
Yeah.
Morton's passing by.
Yeah.
Well, so tell me why you don't like Smash.
Oh, dang it. Oh, I don't want people in the comment section to hate me, though.
Well, it's your opinion.
You know how the fan base is.
Yeah. Well, I guess. Well, what changes would you want to see implemented that would make you like it more?
Well, I guess since you asked. 1, bring back trophies. 2, either... Because, you see, with World of Light, I feel like they only did that to make the people that wanted Adventure Mode happy. And because of that, they had... I'm pretty sure they didn't have the time to make it like Subspace Emissary, so instead they did it the way they did it, and it was just really hard, annoying, it's just not fun. So I would honestly get rid of World of Light and just not focus on bringing in a story mode at all, to be honest. What else?
I do miss trophies, but I understand why it was taken out, because it is a lot of extra work for pretty much nothing. I wouldn't mind
but
them.
at least they're better than Spirits, which are literally just PNG images you can find on Google. And the most annoying part of them all, they don't even have a clear indication whether they deconfirm or not.
Well, recently they went back and edited some of the names of them because they had to differentiate them between newer spirits that have similar names. So I think Dimitri and Hilda from Zelda now have, after their names in parentheses, it says The Legend of Zelda. And Dimitri and Hilda from Fire Emblem now say Fire Emblem next to it, or Fire Emblem Three Houses, and I don't know what exactly. So the fact that they can go back and edit spirit names makes people feel like it's possible they can introduce a character that was a spirit and give it a different subtitle maybe.
I wouldn't get my hopes up. I have no faith in this game anymore.
So, do you dislike Smash as a whole, or just this Smash game?
I gotta be brutally honest with you. Smash Ultimate kind of toxicated my feelings for the whole franchise, to be honest. And it's largely the fans' fault for that.
Oh, well, you can't let the fans ruin the game for you.
Well, it's just I hate how people treat this series. Like
but that's a lot of fan bases who do that series.
Not to the extent Smash does. They treat this like it's perfect. Like if you dare to hate on anything that Sakurai does, you're immediately gonna get demonized.
I don't know. It seemed like the whole fan base hated the inclusion of Byleth, or a big chunk of the fan base.
Of course, but when you hate anyone else like Joker or Hero, nope, you get hate for it.
But then Sakurai recently stated that he doesn't pick the characters, Nintendo does.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So it sounds, I mean, I don't know how the process goes, but I remember hearing back before the first Fighter Pass that he was given a list from Nintendo, and he had to pick 5 from the list. But either Byleth was on that list and he wanted Byleth, or Nintendo said you can choose 4 and the 5th has to be Byleth. I don't know.
I love Nintendo, but I hate how they chose the DLC. I'm getting sick and tired of how they pander Fire Emblem. Like, they're shoving that series down our throats. It's getting so annoying.
Well, I do like Fire Emblem, but I've only played 3 games. And I enjoyed them, but I don't know why. I guess because it's a lot of similar styled characters with swords and similar like hair, but they're not all the same, but they do share a lot of moves. And like Corrin and Byleth play, and Robin, they all play way different than the other characters. So I can appreciate that. Like, I tried out Byleth and they were fun, but I didn't play a lot with them, so.
I didn't like Byleth.
So, well, who do you like using?
The only DLC character in this pass that I love is Banjo. Terry's okay, I guess, but I just don't like anyone else.
What about from the original roster? I mean, from before the DLC.
Honestly, I wasn't very happy with the base game either.
Is there any DLC that if it came out you'd be excited for and probably play?
Well, they wouldn't heal all the things that I don't like about the whole game, but yes, of course I'd be hyped for them if they got in.
Who?
Bandana D, Gunvolt, Lilac, as long as it's the original. I do want Sora, but I'm more of a Riku and Roxas fan.
Yeah, but you know that they would represent with the main character.
Yeah, of course.
That's
But
that's like if Tails got in before Sonic.
at least Roxas can be an Echo.
That's true. Or at the very least, a costume change. And like color swap. So it would be Sora with blonde hair and similar colors, maybe.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
What I would like to see if we had Sora was all of his different costumes. Although the Kingdom Hearts 1 costume would be weird because he got taller, and in the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 2, you see he outgrew the costume, so it would really be like really short shorts and a tight shirt.
They could just make them longer for the heck of it.
Yeah, they could proportionally maybe fix that.
And sadly, I don't really see them doing that anyway because of Disney, so...
I mean, Disney and Nintendo have been on good terms recently, but that doesn't mean that they would allow something like that. Who knows? Yeah. I'm like really confused as to like what to expect from Fighter Pass 2. Like, is Fighter Pass 2 going to be like did they try to go all out with Fighter Pass 1 and Fighter Pass 2 will be like kind of the leftovers and not as hype, or are they gonna continue to go all out again? So I'm kind of iffy on where they're gonna go with it, but rumor / leak has it that Crash is the next character. And
well, I want Spyro more, but I pretty much accepted that Crash has to get in first, so I won't be disappointed.
And I was actually watching Papagino's newest video, and there was someone who mentioned that Ryu Hayabusa was going to be in the first Fighter Pass, but at the time they were doing negotiations for the second pass, and they also knew that people were leaking Ryu Hayabusa, so they swapped him into Fighter Pass 2, and I think he replaced Byleth, who was originally going to be in Fighter Pass 2. So if that's true, we would have gotten Ryu Hayabusa instead of Byleth, who would have later came out in Fighter Pass 2. So now, according to that leak, if it's true, or the multiple leaks, if they're true, Fighter Pass 2 should have Crash and Ryu Hayabusa in it. Which I don't care for too much, but I've played Crash and I've played Ninja Gaiden, so at least I can feel a little familiar with the characters, but there are other characters I want more that I'm like, these other characters should get in first.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a huge fan of Geno, but I became one when, I kept hearing the outcry for him, and the fact that even Sakurai likes Geno. So I'm like, why? So I'm just like, why can't Square Enix and Nintendo just be like, yeah, fine, put him in? So I don't know if he's gonna be in it or not, but I kind of want him in just because I want to see, like, one of the Never-Evers make it in, alongside
yeah, I
the
like
other
Geno.
Never-Evers.
He's cool, and I think Geno would be perfect for an amiibo because he gives me that Pinocchio toy vibe.
Yeah.
So I think Geno would make a perfect amiibo.
If we can't get a fighter, I wouldn't mind seeing him as a Mii Fighter costume in the same vein as Sans and Cuphead, Cuphead. But I would prefer him to be his own character. Nobody ever really mentions the other Mii Fighter costumes that actually resemble the character, like Skull Kid. Like, no one ever talks about how the Skull Kid Mii costume actually looks like Skull Kid, because he wears the Majora's Mask and he has the body, but no one ever talks about it. So,
Nope.
I actually used him like last time I was playing, just for the heck of it. I was just like, yeah, Skull Kid's in the game. But it's just weird playing as him because because the way Skull Kid is in this series and even in Hyrule Warriors, like, doesn't really match any of the Mii Fighters' moves. So it doesn't really feel like you're playing Skull Kid. It just feels like you're playing someone dressed as Skull Kid. Where I guess Cuphead makes sense because he shoots things from his finger, and Sans makes sense because he has the skull thing. But I also don't know too much about Undertale or Cuphead, so I don't know. Maybe that's why. So, because the Skull Kid Mii Fighter costume just makes me think of someone dressed up as Skull Kid, even though he looks like Skull Kid exactly. So, I would like to see Skull Kid as a playable character, though. But I don't know if he was playable. I don't know how he would play. In Hyrule Warriors, he has, like, unique moves. And the fairies, Tattle and Tail, actually attack in the combos. So I wonder if they would do the same thing in Smash if he was playable, or if he would just fight by himself. He does do a lot of what are all the things in Majora's Mask? What did he do? Did he make the teardrop fall from the moon, or did that fall on its own?
I don't remember. I think he made it fall from the moon. I'm not a Zelda fan, so...
I can't recall because I remember he was like, I remember when you look through the telescope and you see him, he's like shaking his butt at you, and then he like laughs because he's like mocking you when you like see him on top of the tower. Like, I guess he knows you're looking at him, so he kind of like mocks you, and then he turns to the moon, and then the moon sphere falls down. I don't know. I would love to see Skull Kid playable. I think he'd be really cool. But I don't remember. Did they take him out, or is he still an assist trophy?
He's still in a He's still a trophy.
It's weird that they made the moon an assist trophy. I would think that he would call down the moon.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, we're almost at an hour, and I would like to not be as long as we sometimes go on. But was there anything else you want to talk about? Well, you mentioned a couple games. I know you mentioned to me Marvel vs. Capcom you were playing. Or not, Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah.
How is that? I remember you talking about it last time. Do they support it with updates and stuff?
Yeah, they do. There's the DLC, and sometimes it gets free costumes for the other characters. I have a new favorite hero now, Iceman. Finally, we got a good ice character, and he is so freaking awesome. Is there a fire character? There's characters that use fire. Similarly, that there were characters before they used ice, like Loki.
Well, wait. Iceman is basically, he like turns into ice or something, right?
Yeah.
The other Marvel character that does that for fire is the character from Fantastic Four, right?
Yes, Human Torch.
Yeah. And I don't think there's any other characters that basically turn into ice or fire. I could be wrong.
Not to my memory, though.
It's interesting that the two characters that are opposing elements are from different series, but they do exist in the same universe. So.
Yeah. That's what's great about this game. You get the whole Marvel family.
That's pretty cool. There's a fire character in X-Men, but he doesn't turn to fire. He just manipulates fire that already exists, right?
I don't recall him.
I remember him from the movies, but
I know a lot of X-Men, but I don't recall one that has powers like that.
He manipulates fire, but he can't control it, so he has to ignite something, like he uses a lighter or a blowtorch or something. I don't think his name is Fireman. That just makes me think of Mega Man, even though Iceman is a robot master. But
yeah,
is Anti-Venom in the game?
I think they just added him as a costume.
Oh, but that's better than nothing. Because Anti-Venom.
What, you think he can become his own character?
Maybe, because there's one thing I like that he has that Venom doesn't have, and that's the ability to heal people. And I think that's really cool. Basically, it's like you thought Venom was unstoppable. Now we have Venom, but he can also heal people. It's like,
is he evil or good?
What?
Is he evil or good?
I don't know what they do with him nowadays, because initially when he was first introduced, because I read his introduction and read up on it, and then read like the miniseries. But basically, Eddie Brock lost Venom, and he had cancer. I don't know if having Venom with him suppressed the cancer or what, but basically, it was killing him. And then I think he met Mr. Negative or something. I don't know his name. Is that a character, Mr. Negative?
I don't recall.
But some character, I think, used a spell on him or something that manipulated the remnants of Venom in his genes. Like they were still a little bit left over, and it basically became Anti-Venom, where it was like a new, unique symbiote. But I don't think it had a mind of its own. It was basically Eddie Brock with this like symbiote inside of him that did not have a mind of its own. So it was kind of just like a power he had. So I think it cured him of his cancer, and he became Anti-Venom. And then there was a character in his miniseries who had like I think a drug addiction or something, and I think he cured her just because he's anti-venom. Like, he was able to cure people, but he also had like all the venom powers. So I was just like, damn, he's Venom as a white mage. White mage Venom. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody else who follows it much more could probably differentiate other things, but from a very general overview, from what I saw, he was basically Venom, except no personality of its own. Eddie Brock was in control the whole time, and he had the ability to heal people, which I thought was awesome. So,
yeah,
it's just like basically Venom, but you can't get sick and you can cure people. It's like, whoa, that's awesome.
I hope he can cure the coronavirus.
Or technically, it's the novel coronavirus, because if I have to be scientifically accurate, coronavirus is a group of viruses, and the one that's going on in Wuhan right now is a specific strain called the novel coronavirus, aka the Wuhan coronavirus.
To talk like a nerd.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, but I think Eddie Brock lost anti-venom symbiote because he basically gave it up to Mr. Fantastic when he needed to use it to cure an island of people who were infected with something. I think there was a mini arc called Spider Island, and he had to use it to like cure all the people, otherwise something was going to happen to them. And so he lost it for a while. But then I read that someone else had a piece of the anti-venom or something. I don't know. So I don't quite know what's going on now with it. But all I know is he was my favorite Marvel character because I was just
interesting.
Because I always loved Venom, and then I saw that and I was like, there's a good guy Venom, but he can heal people. I was like, that's so cool.
Well, Venom isn't that evil either.
He's not so much anymore, but yeah. I just thought, like, would you rather have another personality inside of you, or would you rather have your own personality plus the ability to heal people? I was like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, you wouldn't get lonely, but you'd also have no privacy unless you just caved into the fact that this was also you now. But we totally strayed from video games, but that's okay. So I would love to see like more anti-venom representation and not just costume changes. However, I would settle for costume changes as opposed to not having any representation for anti-venom at all. But I can see a like clone of Venom with some slight differences. Like maybe you can heal some of your like other people. Like I don't know what the terms are for that type of game. So
teammates.
Yeah, teammates. I was gonna say party members, but I don't think that's right. But like to be able to heal your teammates while also fighting similarly to Venom, I think would be really awesome.
Well, something I love about this game is that there's no clone characters. Like Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, and Miles Morales, they all have their own movesets and special abilities.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So they could totally, like, if they had ideas for Venom that didn't make it in, they can put it on to anti-Venom.
Yeah.
Plus being able to heal your teammates. Are there different classes of fighters?
Yeah, you got heavy hitters, you got speed characters, there's actually 6 different stats, and depending on your team, you get bonuses for each of the stats.
And what is Venom?
I think I don't remember all of them by heart, but I know he has one for heavy hitters, villains, anti-heroes, and web warriors.
See, because I think anti-Venom was not as bulky as Venom. He was a lot thinner. And he had like spikes on him. No, but he actually looked really cool though. So
yeah, I know anti-venom's cool.
Yeah,
I'm just used to bulky.
Yeah,
Venom.
I know.
Kind of what I like.
Although I feel like I've seen him bulky once before, but maybe it was just a costume swap for Venom in like Marvel vs. Capcom 3 or something. But I can see them making him his own character and like swapping out Heavy Hitter for something else, and just like playing around with the stats and giving him some unique stuff. Like you have the opportunity to make a new Venom, like approach it differently.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. If that happened, I would want to pick up the game. So I'm like, oh yes, some anti-Venom representation. I mean, at least Venom has a color swap, right?
Yeah.
That's okay. Does he have spikes?
I don't. You see, when it comes to games like this, I don't use alternate costumes. I prefer
do if it really resembles an alternate character, like, or like another outfit that a character wore. But color swaps, I don't really care for too much because I'm like, I'd rather just actually be the original character. But I don't.
Yeah,
mind...
just like me, I prefer to be myself. So.
Yeah, but I don't mind costume swaps because seeing a character in a legit alternate costume is really cool. Although I think it's weird when their colors change because then it's like, I don't know, such and such character was never green. You know, so it kind of pulls me out of it a bit, but sometimes it works out, and you're like, oh, that's a cool alternate color. Like for Banjo and Kazooie in Smash, he has the like the black, purple, and green color. I'm like, that's cool, but I don't want to use it. I'd rather just be Banjo and Kazooie. Like I've cycled through all of them. I'm like, oh, these are cool, and then I just go back to the normal Banjo and Kazooie.
Yeah.
However, I have swapped colors for characters that have color swaps. Like Mega Man, all his color swaps are actually different colors from his games when he uses different weapons. And I could be wrong, but I think they are colors based on the weapons he uses. I could be wrong with that.
Yeah,
but if that's the case, then they make sense. So I wouldn't mind swapping my color for Mega Man because I'm like, oh, this makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's when a character like Mario with like
the American flag.
Yeah,
well, actually, that one makes
just
sense
like,
too because it was for a Japanese game. But.
Oh, okay. But I mean, I guess the green hat makes sense because originally Luigi used to be heavy set like Mario because they share the same sprites, and I can understand it as like a nod to like the Wario one, and I think Waluigi, but it's just like. Certain characters, like why is Donkey Kong all white or like pink, or I mean that's fun to use as a joke. I feel like oh, you got beaten by pink Donkey Kong, but not that there's anything wrong with pink. Pink is actually one of my favorite colors, but it's just funny. But I feel like I wouldn't use like a random alternate color swap in a serious match unless I was fooling around.
Yeah.
Look at me, I'm brown Yoshi.
Chocolate Yoshi.
Yep. That's Didn't they get rid of one of the Yoshi colors?
I think they got rid of Black Yoshi, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and they replaced it with Woolly Yoshi. They should have just added in Woolly Yoshi as a 9th color. Like, why even take away colors? I don't understand the point of taking things away. Like, just add it in. Do they not have more than 8 slots coded in?
They used to in Brawl, I think. For Wario.
Black and white Yoshi were so awesome. So the fact that you can't pick one of them is just like a little disappointing. Really? I think when they do add in alternate costumes, it's pretty cool. Like they gave Link the Tunic of the Wilds or something, I think it's called. Or I don't know what it was, but it's like the green one, like the original Link outfit. And I think they also have Shadow Link. But like, why can't you pick Ocarina of Time Link and... Well, I can understand that one because it's older polygons, I guess. But the one from Brawl is pretty nice looking. Like, or Wii U, I mean. Like, can't you have Twilight Princess Link as an alternate costume, and the same with Ganondorf and Zelda? Like, why not? You know? Like, it's cool that we have newer versions, but why not have alternate costumes? You know? Like, character swaps. Like that's exciting stuff. I'd love to see DLC like that. Like to have that for Olimar with
Alf.
Yeah. And they have it for all the Koopalings for Bowser Jr. Like they have the perfect opportunity to do more of that. And people, myself included, would buy costumes. And it's like, I don't know why they refuse to do that. That's easy money on the table. Just sitting there. Greedy. What?
I'd rather them not be greedy. So, I mean, it already pisses me off enough that they're forcing us to pay for costumes that were already DLC in Smash 4. So,
well, I'm trying to think of like what characters or what alternate costumes would be cool, and I'm sure there's a lot of them that would be really cool. I think some of the Fire Emblem characters have different costumes themselves for like upgraded classes. Like I think, like Lucina, for example, I think she has an upgraded armor set, or Robin, or Corrin. I don't know, but even like King K. Rool has like the boxing one, the captain one, K. Rulenstein one.
Yeah.
Like there's so many. I guess technically he would lose his crown unless they replaced it with something else on his head. But there's just like so many alternate costumes that could be used. That would be really cool. That they just, I don't know, man. They just don't want to.
Yeah.
Shadow would be awesome for Sonic, but I don't know.
I don't really see all that.
I think that's like a Sega mandate that he has to be blue. So that's why he's only different shades of blue.
Yeah.
Which is weird, but okay. I do like...
I sometimes very rarely make a joke that I use the purplish Sonic and pretend that it's Lilac, so...
you think that's a nod to her? I wonder.
No, because the other thing about it is that I hope that it doesn't fuel the dumb argument that she looks too much like Sonic.
I don't think so. Especially when
Thank
you have Mario and Luigi.
Thank you.
Yeah, Luigi can't be...
You just gave me another good point against that argument.
Luigi can't be in the game. He looks too much like Mario.
Yeah, thank you. You just gave me another good point.
I mean, if anything... Well, they wouldn't do this for like a character from different companies, but you have Echo Fighters for that reason. But I can't see two characters from different series, like one being Echo, the other. I feel like they would they'd be better off being their own character.
Yeah, Lilac is infinitely different than Sonic. She would not work as a... If
it was Shadow or one of the other Sonic characters, they would make sense to be an Echo. You know, it's basically like a costume swap with maybe a couple different stats or moves. I would love to see Metal Sonic as an Echo of Sonic. That'd be really cool, you know. And everybody wants to see Shadow. I could see Shadow with maybe like Chaos Control as an up B instead of the Spring, which would basically be Mewtwo's teleport. He'd be Sonic with the teleport, you know, like maybe a couple other different things. But there's just like so much that can be done. And I don't know. I mean, I know it's hard to make a game. It's hard to code and stuff. But compared to other things, I feel like Echo Fighters, like they can keep going with Echo. Like I want to see more Echo Fighters. Like an Echo Fighter Pass at like a lower price. Like a lower price, obviously. Just to have like a couple of characters or a few characters that couldn't make it in, but fit well enough with other characters from their respective series to just be a little extra, like a little bonus.
That'd be cool, but I don't really see people paying money for that. I mean, I wouldn't pay money just to get a clone character.
I would.
Well, good for you.
Because the thing with Echo Fighters is they're not 100% clones, so they are slightly different. Like Dark Samus and Samus, like Dark Samus floats around, and I think she had a different, like pretty much all the Echo Fighters except for Daisy have something different about them. And Daisy and Peach used to have something different, and then I think they patched it out. It was like one move was a little stronger than the other or something. So she's pretty much the same, I think. But everyone else, all of them are slightly different. Like Crom is an echo of Roy, but has Ike's up B. Dark Samus's movements are different, and I think, I could be wrong, I think her grab is different too. She doesn't have the long chain thing. I think she just grabs, which I like more. And some of the characters who aren't even echoes should be, but I guess aren't. Like Dr. Mario, I guess he's kind of different enough, but
yeah.
Young Link, a Toon Link. But anyway, the point is that an Echo Pass where the characters are at least a little bit unique would be awesome. Like, you don't have to go all out and give them a completely original moveset. You could just, like, make them just slightly different. Enough so that they could stand as their own character while still being an Echo. And I'll use the Shadow example again. Like, make him Sonic, but give his up B a Chaos Control Teleport. And, like, maybe one other different move. And he would just have different taunts. Like, you know, that works. He does have a super form, so you could have the same exact final smash as Sonic, as Super Shadow. So, like, they can totally do that, and people would pay for that. Like, that's money on the table. Like, even if some people wouldn't pay for it, people would. Because it's Smash.
Because that's the world we live in.
Yeah. But I would definitely do it for characters that have some unique stuff. Like, oh, this one has a new move, you know, so they play slightly different. So it's like a new character. I'd be less inclined to do so for someone like Daisy, who is exactly like Peach. But
except for the taunts and
yeah, but I feel like I would want to have the complete game, and missing a character if that's available, even if they're a clone, would bother me. So depending on the price, I would probably just buy it.
Trust me, I have a very good friend that he is kind of pissed off that Daisy's a clone and thoroughly believes that she could have a unique moveset. Shout out to you, by the way, if you're listening. So, yeah.
I want to see King Wart as an echo of Bowser.
That'd be weird.
So instead of the fire breath...
Why not Dry Bowser?
Well, that too, but I think Dry Bowser should be... I think Dry Bowser could be a costume swap. Like one of his 8 forms, and King Wart can have, like, bubbles instead of fire.
Well, funnily enough, Dry Bowser literally is a clone of Bowser in Mario Tennis Aces, so...
But I would treat him like the same as, like, the Koopalings for Baby Bowser, and just, like, tag him on as one of the color swaps, or character swaps, or whatever you would call it, as part of his alternate colors. But I think Wart is a completely different character, but you can pretty much build him off of Bowser, and instead of fire breath, he would shoot
bubbles.
A bubble or multiple bubbles, which would maybe have a different status to them. Or so instead of, like, burned, like, maybe it would do something else. Maybe they would stay out a bit longer, and like for a second, and you could follow up by jumping on them. I don't know, like, they could do something creative with bubbles different than fire. Maybe they pop, and the pop knocks you back. So instead of staying put, like caught in the fire, you get knocked back or something. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know, but the rest could be exactly the same as Bowser, because I don't think Wart really does anything except move back and forth and shoot bubbles. But yeah, they could play around with, like, maybe his grab, instead of flipping in the air, maybe he, I don't know, does something like Kirby, where he just jumps up and back down again, right, in his grab.
Yeah.
I don't know. They could definitely throw around. Are there any, like, echoes you would like to see, like, as DLC?
Dark Meta Knight, Roxas.
What about Galactonite? Well, he's already in there.
I don't know. Galactonite, he isn't that similar to Meta Knight. I mean, he has a lance and a shield, and he has different moves than Meta Knight does.
Yeah, but as an Echo, he can have maybe, like, one unique move or something. Like I don't know much about him, but
I think with no, I mean I'm a huge Kirby fan, so I have the right to say that I thoroughly believe that Galactic Knight can be his own character. But at the same time, Dark Meta Knight can also be his own character because he has different moves in Kirby Star Allies than Meta Knight does.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking of the scenario where if you had to choose to bring in a character as an Echo or not have them at all, because maybe it's too much work or something, and Nintendo and Sakura are like, okay, we can bring in some more characters, but we can't spend as much time and money on them, so we're going to finish off with some Echo Fighters. Like, who would you want them to be? Otherwise, they won't be in the game. And so I can see characters like, I don't think Shadow will get, and maybe I'll be surprised, but I don't think a character like Shadow will get in as a unique fighter, so I would settle for Echo. Like, who would you not mind settling for an Echo fighter?
Well, do I like who would I want as an Echo and wouldn't care?
Yeah, I guess. Like, if they had to be an Echo fighter, who wouldn't you mind? Or if you have a really good idea and you're like, oh, I really want this character as an Echo fighter. Because everybody wants certain characters as unique fighters, but like, if you had to pick a Echo fighter, like, who would you pick that you'd be happy with? And maybe like how would they differentiate, if at all?
Well, I kind of think Metal Sonic can be his own character too, but I think his shield could be different because I heard that he has black shield. Yeah,
I forget what they're called, but it's like something Matrix or Black Matrix. I don't know. He has like a diamond shield.
Yeah, the black
shield. And he has oh god, something else that I completely forgot about. And I'm the Sonic fan. I'm disappointed I forgot. But I can see that. Like, so instead, because Sonic has a spin dash and pretty much overall like two different kinds of spin dash moves. So I could see one of them being replaced with like the shield that could pretty much be like Fox's shield or something, you know, like a deflector.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
And Metal Sonic could actually fly. So I can see him, instead of a spring, having an up B similar to Diddy. Except maybe it wouldn't explode on you if you hold it down too long. Oh no, that's his peanut gun that explodes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be pretty cool. But maybe it would just go straight up or in a straight direction rather than curved. But that would be pretty cool. A Metal Sonic Echo with like his down B being the reflector and his up B being like a jet boost of sorts. And I'm sorry that I interrupted you, but I was just like hyped with that idea. So, but who else would you go for?
Well, that's it. Just Metal Sonic.
Just Metal Sonic.
Metal Sonic, Roxas, and Dark Meta Knight.
Ooh. Well, assuming Sora gets in, which I hope he gets in. Oh, that would be so cool.
Yeah. And I hope that Roxas has his Twilight Town clothes and not just the boring black
What about
robe.
Ventus?
Oh, but
he fights differently.
Yeah, because I was about to say, but that could be. Now you got me hyped. Because if Ventus, because they would put Ventus as the unique and Roxas the clone. But
yeah, because he fights with his Keyblade backwards.
Yeah.
Some reason.
For some reason.
And his final smash can be using the Keyblade, like the key, like Chi. So I guess that would mean Vanitas would be inside of him. But I guess it would be the pseudo one where it's like partly broken because it's incomplete.
Yeah.
And I could see him just like slashing around on the stage before it disappears. I don't know. Yeah. But that would be cool to see Sora. I want Sora in the game. Oh, that'd be so cool. If Sora was in, you think you'd get back into playing it?
Not in full time, but I'd be happy.
Occasionally, right?
Well, I don't play Smash Ultimate anymore because I just don't get in. Like, okay, the reason why I played Smash 4 so much was because I used my amiibo, but sadly, another big reason why I hate Ultimate is that it killed my enjoyment of using Amiibo because of how you have to farm spirits, and I was livid that I had to start all the way over in the beginning. I spent like 400 hours plus on the Wii U training my Amiibo. And
yeah, that kind of sucks.
And my mom especially understood how upset I was because I left the Wii U on like more than 3 hours every time I got a new Amiibo to train them up. And I had tournaments with them. I had so much fun with them, and now Ult just completely ruined it for me.
Well, you could do that again.
But I don't have Smash 4 anymore.
You don't?
I sold it, which I honestly regret now, looking back.
See, I never really sell my games. I think I might have done that once and was upset, and then I wound up finding it and buying it. So I just like keep everything because I hate the feeling of like, oh, I wish I didn't sell that. So,
yeah.
Sometimes you gotta, unfortunately, learn the hard way. You're like, I'm never gonna sell my games again. I did that with, I think Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I was so upset afterwards. I was just like, wow, why did I do that? And then I miraculously one day was in the mall, and my friend's brother worked at EB Games, which is, I think, out of business now, or at least they don't exist in my local mall. But like this, you know, they didn't even sell N64 games anymore. But I think they occasionally, at this point in time, I think they occasionally had the cartridges only to buy, and they for some reason had a box of unopened Conker's Bad Fur Days. Like, and my friend told me, he's like, "Yo, if you want to get Conker's Bad Fur Day, this is your chance." And I was like, "Yes," and I jumped on it. And I got the game, and I was like, I cannot believe this even exists right now. Like, an unopened version of this. And I got it at, like, retail price. It's like, oh my god.
Lucky.
Yeah. And there were other unopened ones, too, I think, and people were, like, jumping on them. But I think, I don't remember if they held one aside for me, or if I just got there on time. But, yeah. So, I guess we can pretty much wrap it up now. I'm surprised we talked about Smash as much as we did, considering I didn't think you were going to want to talk about it at all. But well, I did like getting your opinion on what you would want to see.
Yeah.
And I do agree with some of the stuff. Like, World of Light could have been better. It did get repetitive.
I didn't even bother finishing it. I got lost and then I just gave up on it.
That, and I understand from the development perspective why we don't have trophies, but I would have loved to see trophies because I loved to like poke around and just like look at my trophies in Smash 4, just like poking around at them and being like, look at my collection in this glass case.
Yeah, and spirits don't even have descriptions.
Yeah, the descriptions were nice too. Sometimes I wanted to like know who a character is when I'm looking at the spirits and I don't know who they are. So I'm just like, I don't know who this is, and there's no description. I can't read who they are. Yeah. Like, even if there was a description for the spirits, like, that would be cool. Because, like, I want to know who some of the characters are. And yes, I know Google exists, but, like, when you're in the moment of playing the game, you don't want to, like, hold on, who is this character? You know? Like, I'd rather the text be right there and be like, oh, okay, that's cool. Maybe I'll check that game out or something. Yeah. So, but anyway. But I digress. So I guess that's it for today. I don't know when we'll record again. Hopefully next week. I know Papagenos just moved into a new apartment and right now doesn't have internet, so I think he wanted to be on today but couldn't because of that. And Alpha's busy. Dan / Apocalypso said he was gonna pop in, but then he messaged me before we were talking. He was like, you know, it's actually kind of late, so he couldn't come on, so it was just us today. But maybe next time we'll have more people.
Yeah, maybe and I didn't get to gush about She-Ra, but
you did. I thought you did. You did talk a bit about it.
Yeah, but I didn't get to express my passion for a certain character.
So go ahead. You can leave it off at that.
But then it would be awkward because you don't have any idea. It just wouldn't make sense.
All right. Well, we could do that next time.
I guess. I mean, I'll have a whole crowd that won't know what the heck I'm talking about. But...
All right. Well, I guess that's it for today. Goodbye, everybody.
Take care. Please don't hate me in the comments.
Bye.
Like when he boosts, he goes like.
Is he Fat Albert? Fat
Yeah.
Hey, Mario.
Yeah.
Morton's passing by.